The daily bread, if you want it like that, adhesive might be the 3307, which is once again a water-based dispersion adhesive, a wet set adhesive with a really high shear strength and also recommended for LVT. Not only LVT, for sure also cushion vinyl sheets. Oh, good one. Using trowel notch, very important. A1 or A2. I know mostly it is a A2 recommended, but most of the people are using A1, which is also not bad. But let me explain just a little bit the differences. So with a A2 or A1 trowel notch, you might apply 200, 220 grams per square meter. Possibly for different supplier, more or less the same. A2 will give you 300 to 330, so definitely more. Why is it a little bit, let's say, challenging just using an A1 if you do not have in mind to switch also or to change the blade? For example, like for our trowels, I'll take this, then you can show it, and I take this one. Because A1 trowel, like I mentioned, you should change it after 30 to 40 square meter, latest. Because at the beginning you will have your 220 gram, but as longer you use it, you will have less, which means 150. And that can already give you some issues. Using an A2, also using it too long, so means 50, 60, 100 square meter, won't be the first time that I saw this, still will give you this 200, 210, 220 gram, even if it's used too much. So anyway, a trowel blade, the one that definitely we supply simply because we figure out you got also some that are ready with the tiers here inside, but too expensive and you don't need them. Because these blades are really inexpensive and you can switch it. You can also give it to the installer and say, yeah, you got one blade, half bucket empty, turn the blade and use it for the rest of the bucket. And then you know, or at least you secure that you apply the right amount of adhesive to get the proper installation. And they are really, believe me, really inexpensive, and that makes your life easier and no headaches. They don't have to start cutting something inside because that takes longer than anything else. Good. So I will use a A2 trowel notch. Next question that I got in the last days, can I put the material back in the bucket and use it again? For sure. Because mostly when you are applying a bigger area, many times, you will apply more than you actually need. So for sure you can put it back. You can also use it after 1, 2, or 3 months, but be aware that if you put it there for 1 year, you will have some interaction. Simple. This is water, and imagine what happened, put, I don't know, a bottle of water and let it in somewhere in a corner for 1 year. You will see that there is something happening inside. Same thing here. And in the moment when you, after you apply the adhesive, and you put it back in your bucket, you will put also some bacteria or whatever stuff from the floor, even if it was perfect vacuum, because you got what? Power for the vacuum. So it will still, you will put some bacteria inside and they will work. Once again, not after 1 month, 2 months, but this is for all dispersion-based products. But it's still, once again, for 3, 4 months, no problem with that. If you really, I don't know, put it in your warehouse and then you forget about it, then open and see if something happened. I don't say that necessarily something will happen, but have a look before you apply it on a job site. And things that are also important, to be able to put back the surplus material. So this is also a property that is quite nice. It should be easy for apply, but also easy to put back the surplus material. So somebody wants to try? Okay, nobody wants to try. I see again. Oh. You think you can make it better today? No. And also, there is no smell. It's just the only smell, if you want it like that, is the typical dispersion smell that you can smell a little bit, but not really much. No, you want to try? You don't have. Just to smell, just to smell. No. Great. Now you got your 5 to 10 minutes of, let's call it airing time, or not let's call it, this is actually exactly what the adhesive is doing now. Allow the water out of the adhesive to go into the leveling compound as well up into the air. And then you can start your installation with LVT, PVC, vinyl sheet, whatever you want to install on top. Don't take rubber. Rubber is specific. We have to have in mind that rubber is a little bit different. And what I want to mention, don't be aware to ask if you got the specific installation. Because like I mentioned the days before, our range of wood floor adhesive is like that, comparing to our range of adhesive for resilient floor, which is possibly like that. Because different floor coverings, different demands, different behavior of the floor coverings. And that's why here and there you need a specific product. The same like if you have a conductive installation to do, many times in hospitals, especially in surgery rooms or in data centers, you need an adhesive which allows you to bring away the conductivity or the electric power, if you want it like that, to the ground. It is more specific, this topic in conductive installation, we can talk for 2 days just about this topic, but just that you have in mind that there is a solution, and actually an easy solution if you do it the right way. Nothing which is different to what we spoke about, just the adhesive is different. But this is something that the architect will tell you, how high the conductivity, blah, 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 have to be. And you have to take care of that, because if you do an installation, let's say in a surgery, without a conductivity, let's say in best case, nobody will die, but the machines will be broken, which is also not necessarily the worst thing. They will cost a couple of possibly million, but then if they have to close the surgery room, I don't know in South Africa, but don't get me wrong, I know that you got amazing doctors here, because just a story, but my eyes was operated or surgered by a lady from South Africa for not using any more glasses, and a surgery, it's 250,000 per day if they cannot work. And then good luck with that. So the machines would be the cheapest part of that one, if you have to tear out everything and to make it new again to get this conductivity. Have in mind from beginning, be smart from beginning and ask, and then there is a solution which is quite easy to fix it. And just another adhesive with some specific ingredients, but nothing that it's, I don't know, too big scientist. Yes. We will wait maybe another 5 minutes. Once again, first day, we block the moisture, put the slutty primer, the pink one, 3045, close the gaps, create a ramp if needed, or also some stair noses if also needed, and apply a smoothing compound, leveling compound. Everything the same day. So you don't have to come second time on the job site to put the second coat of any other moisture barrier and then wait another 24 hours of 12 hours, come back, put the leveling compound, and then maybe the third or fourth day to come to the job site to start the installation. You can do, honestly, around, I tell you what I'm doing with one of my colleagues, subfloor prep, Pew 280 twice, 3045, ramps, blah, 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 leveling compound, 2 to 3 days. Once again, we are both, we can work without talking to each other, 100 square meter in 2 days. Maybe 2.5, it's a little bit more complicated, including skirtings. So just to have in mind how fast you can work and how quality-wise you can work. Because this curing time and this application ways, which are easy, gives you more time to still work fast but accurate. After you applied your leveling compound, next day, like I mentioned, I hate to say this, but I will send it because I send it every time like that. But it's not even so worse to send a leveling compound with 60 or 80 grit. Vacuum, once again, to do this, you need power. But you can plan this from the day before. You know when you got power or not here in South Africa. That's what I learned. And start your installation. Use a wet set adhesive if you want it. So don't apply for LVT, or if you are fast, you can also apply more. But the recommendation, if you are only 2 guys or something, apply as long as your arm is. And when you finish the first line, actually your partner can start installation. and then he come closer to you and you can apply the next line. That's how it works. Use a roller, definitely. For all, every time a heavy roller. 50 kilo, 30 kilo, 50 is recommended. My own one is 30 because it's easier to carry. That's the only reason, and it works perfect. If you have a special application for the vinyls, I don't know, like we spoke about LVT in wet areas or entrance areas or cooling houses, or I don't know if this is the right word, in restaurants, the big fridge, if you want it like that, use a specific one, so the MS552, for example, or I don't know, ceiling installation of LVT, if you want it like that. Once again, the daily product should be the 3307 or the pressure sensitive adhesive. For special, super special application, for example, the 552, or if needed, once again, we just touch a little bit all these things, and conductive adhesive if also needed for data centers and hospitals, I would say, first of all.